Hello everyone, thank you for stopping by my channel. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. And thank you for all the comments that have been left in such a short period of me running this channel. I'm really loving the interaction. It's awesome meeting you guys out there. Today I'm bringing you an orchid bloom update. I'm here in my green cafe. Early morning is wonderful out here. You can hear the birds chirping. The sun is just coming up. Everything is so fresh. And this is my favorite time of the day to be here. Without further ado, I will bring you what's in bloom. Here we go. So first, I'm going to start with my Vandas and Ascosandas. This Ascosanda crossed with a Vanda I got at Banjongs. And the name of this Vanda Ascosanda combination is Saxamaran spots, and it's crossed with a Dr. Anek. So it's a Saxamaran spots crossed with a Dr. Anek. And as you can see, it has these beautiful spots that kind of give it that deep detail in there. It's one of my favorite Vandas. The size, it's humongous. It's actually the size of my palm. Next on the line, it's another Ascosanda. It's also from Banjongs. And this one is an Ascosanda Ratchaburi Beauty. I also got this at Banjongs, and most of my Vandas, as you'll see, I get from Banjongs for two reasons. Number one, he's amazing. They have beautiful orchids there. And number two, they're very close to me. So it's convenient. Not for my wallet, but it's convenient for my collection. This is also an Ascosanda Tavabot. It's supposed to have like a fruit punch scent. Mine, for some reason, doesn't have such a strong fragrance. I know that other people have gotten these. For example, Blanca from Blanca's Orchid Garden, and she says hers has fragrance, but mine has never had fragrance. But it's such a beauty that I don't really mind. This one's almost on its way out. This one is a Vanda Violeta Bangjong, and it has an amazing fragrance. It has almost like exactly what the name implies, a violet scent. Now this one, I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name because I always mess it up. I'll just give you the street name. And the street name is Nun Caps Orchid. Yeah, Nun's Caps Orchid or Nun's Orchid. And she got really big. Now there is some yellowing on the leaves, and I figured out that it's not that it's drying out. It's just that the sun in here, even though I have a screened in area that blocks 70% of the UVs, it's still a little bit too bright. So I will have to find a spot for her that will keep her from getting yellow leaves like this. But she bursted out this year in blooms. I mean, I had to tie it because it was tipping over. I'm trying to pull back so you can get an idea of scale. But she was very generous this year with her orchids. Now this one just started blooming. I got this also at Banjongs. And this one, it's a Banyon Fantasy. And I believe Ben himself crossed this. And I was looking one day in his shop, in his nursery, and I asked him, do you have anything different that's not up here in the front? And he's like, you and your different orchids. I'll be right back. And so he comes back with this monster. It's so big. And he said, he was telling me, well, this was not really for sale because it was kind of like in the back. I don't know if they were like just holding it to take some cuttings from it. I wasn't sure, but he didn't have it in the front. And he sold it to me at a really good, reasonable price. Unfortunately, as you can see, last year, we had so much rain that this one got a really bad case of fungus. And once I started attacking it with the good stuff, I will talk about killing fungus and other kinds of insects and pests that get on your orchids on another episode. But once I discovered it, how to do it, I was able to save all my Vandas. And this was one of them. I almost lost her, but she came back, and this year she gave me 3. Even the keikis or the babies are giving me flowers. So she's pretty healthy. As you can see here, I have lots of shoots for the future to show you guys. A lot of phalaenopsis. All my phalaenopsis are filled with spikes, you can see there. I created this little shelving system here for my phalaenopsis because I was running out of space inside the house. but I needed to put them in a space that they got enough light but not direct sunlight. And this one here seems to be the magic spot for them. Here's my anosmum. Unfortunately, she's already going. This is all that's left. I really enjoy when she blooms because the fragrance is amazing. Now, this one I bought from Carl Smith about a year ago at the Tamiami Orchid Show. And I gotta tell you, she's never stopped blooming. She's always shooting flowers. This is a Phalaenopsis amboinensis. I had to re-tag her because for some reason the tag that she had got lost. We get a lot of wind here sometimes and they just disappear. Oh, and by the way, this flower is heavily fragrant. For me, for my nose, my sensitive nose, it smells like men's cologne. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it reminds me of a men's cologne. It has a very masculine fragrance. This one just opened and I had no idea, I still have no idea where I bought it or what it was. So I took a wild guess and I thought, you know, well, obviously it looks more like a Brassivola crossed with a Cat Lia due to the thin petals and then the Cat Lia tongue. So I looked online and I actually was able to identify her, and it ends up being a Brasso Cat Lia rustic spots with a Chilirihanna. So I will, as always, I will put all the names properly spelled, but look at that, how beautiful, how gorgeous. And she is fragrant. Love the freckles. That's one of my favorite features on orchids, is when they have freckles. Now here, I had already featured this in my haul, but I just want to show you how gorgeous it looks now that it's acclimated here for a week. A lot more flowers have opened. And this is that word I had a very tough time pronouncing in the haul video, is Trichoglottis Orchidea is the name of this one. And then I have another Trichoglottis, the Rosea, that I got from Smiley. And she is bursting out in flowers. When I first got her, she had a couple open. And I was like, oh, I hope you know that they all open, because sometimes when you bring them home and they're from a completely different environment, it takes them a while to acclimate. And sometimes they drop their flowers. I had one that I bought, a yellow Cat Lia, that was not tagged, that dropped the flowers right away. It didn't quite make it. Now, I want to show you, before she goes, She's already starting to drop some flowers. My Phalaenopsis Chilirihanna. Beautiful fragrance, clean fragrance. It smells like when you just come out of the shower, that nice, clean, soapy scent that you feel. It's almost, I'm trying to find the right words for it, but it's a very clean scent. And she's a 1 year bloomer. She's only bloomed for me once a year, but when she does, she's a show. Now my Tolumnias, my new fever, I love these little orchids. They're so cool. They have such great color and such great detail. It's almost like, where were you all my life? I haven't seen you anywhere. And all of a sudden, now you're popping up in all these shows. It seems to be like one of those new orchid craze. So this one is the one I got at the most previous show, and it's a Tolumnia rainbow. And I was waiting for it to open because I bought it only in buds. And it's really pretty. I love it. They're not fragrant. I wish they were, but they are beautiful. And then this one I've had for a while. I bought this actually not even knowing what it was. And when it shot this little shoot, my friend told me, that's a Tolumnia. Those are really hot right now. And this one is a firm bloody bird. It's a Girac firm bloody bird. Has beautiful red tones and the nice little edging that's so delicate and like almost like a light pink. Now here, what I'm going to show you now is my pride and joy of what I just got. Look at this. She is just now opening. And I got this from Lady Vanda at the Ophi's Orchid Show. And she specializes in Vandas and Paphiopedilums. And this one I've been after for years. But they're so expensive that, you know, I just didn't want to spend that kind of money on a plant. But luckily, Lady Vanda has very reasonable prices. I paid only $55 for this. Some people pay up to 100, 110, 120 for a piece like this at a show. But it's just gorgeous. Look at the details on this. Now this one's called the Paphiopedilum mounttoro. It's a Stenel crossed with Philippense and Dr. Henry Walram. It's a really long name. How I remember that, I don't know. But anyway, it is an American Orchid Society recognized orchid. So it's a beauty. I don't get tired of looking at it and observing all the detail in it. Now this one is also a Paphiopedilum, and it's going to give me sort of the same type of, I forgot what these are called. There's a name for these long, in Paphiopedilum land, there's a name for these long petals, and for the short stubby petals, there's a scientific name for that. But Serena explained it to me at Lady Vanda, and you know, I'm not gonna remember. I'll have to repeat it 1,000 times. Now this one, I honestly can't remember what it looked like. I bought it at Ophi's from Ophi, not from the orchid show. He actually had these in the back, and it didn't have a tag, but it's a gorgeous Paphiopedilum. And I think I paid like $35 for that. That was like an amazing price for that piece. So I believe that this is, oh wait, let me show you my Dendrobiums. I mean, they're kind of on their way out. Here's my Dendrobium and osmium. This one smells like honey. And a couple of weeks ago, all this was filled with flower. I wish I would have taken a video. I am gonna look to see if maybe I took some pictures, and I'll put it on the inset of how it looked. This one's also on its way out. Such a cutie. Let me see if I can focus there. This is a Dendrobium lovable bird. It's having trouble focusing. Sorry about that. Oh, there we go. It's called the lovable bird. It's very pretty. And then here, sorry about that. It's the little ones that has trouble to focus on. Yeah, it's not gonna focus well. Well, this one is, it's a very unique looking Dendrobium. It has sort of like, if it would only focus, then I could explain to you in detail, but it's not focusing. Well, I'll probably take a picture of it and put it in the inset so you can see, but it's a very unique looking Dendrobium. I have never seen anything like this, and I can't remember where I bought it. It has no tag. So I will definitely take a picture of it and put it on the inset because it'd be a shame not to show you. These are always a joy to have, terrestrial orchids. They're always blooming. These are always giving blooms. What I have noticed about these, and I'm sure some of you out there may have experienced this, these terrestrial orchids, they suffer from heavy fungus. You have to always be on top of them and spraying them because they do get a lot of fungus. And they do like water, but they don't like to sit in water. So it's almost a tricky plant to keep, you know, at 100% looking great. Because it's taken me a bit to learn this plant, but I think I finally got her to a place where she's healthy looking, her leaves look healthy, and what's great about it is she's giving me seed pods. That means she's being pollinated. That's a sign of a healthy garden. All right, guys, that is it for our episode, but before we close this segment, I almost forgot. Paphiopedilum falcatum. We almost closed without featuring him. He's an awesome, awesome Paphiopedilum. I got it recently at the Ophi's Orchid Show. I featured it in my orchid haul, and it's finally opening the tiny, tiny little orchids. Such a cool Paphiopedilum. Really, really neat. So anyways, folks, I hope you enjoyed this segment. I will be bringing you back more of what's in bloom. And always remember, I'm Nature Nell, and always keep it green.